or we leave totally.
Righty. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Food and Design Rethinking Eating, Thinking, a fresh perspective on thinking, creating, and eating with Fork Organization. We at Indie Design Week are so excited to partner with Fork Organization. They are doing such amazing, innovative research and tactical design work in the food design industry. Personally, I was really excited to bring them on because food design was a new concept to me. I don't feel like we have it, and we don't have a lot of knowledge about it yet in Indianapolis and Indiana. So we're really excited to partner with an international partner on it and kind of bring it to our world and learn more about it and hopefully bring more exposure. So I have Mariana Edler with us today, and I also have Ricardo Banacho, both founders of Fork Organization and food designers in their own rights. Very excited for this presentation today. I'll let them get a little bit more into their own backgrounds, but an exciting announcement they're going to go through is a new food design degree that they've worked on at Elisava University. So very excited to have them here. Thank you both so much. This has been a few months in the making, so we're really excited to have you.
Thank you very much, Tori, and hi to everyone. We're really happy to be here today. And as Tori was saying, let us introduce ourselves for the beginning, and then I will talk to you about what Fork is and how we organized in Elisava all this new bachelor in food design. So my name is Mariana Eidler. I'm the director of the Food Design Lab Barcelona in Elisava, and I'm also the director of the degree in design for food systems that we will open in September. I come from the art direction and the graphic world, where I studied graphic design, and then I did many masters. But then at one point I decided to do my PhD, and Ricardo was my director, and then we met. And at that point we said, is there any international organization that talks and that holds food design things, perspectives, people, programs, whatever it was? And so that was the way that we met. And then from that, we created Fork, which is a nonprofit organization called Food Design for Opportunities, Research, and Knowledge, together with Sonia Masari and Pedro Alvarez. So the four Fork founders, each of us dedicated to a different world into the food systems, opened up this nonprofit organization that it's meant to link projects with institutions. And in that sense, it also helps in the dissemination of this new bachelor that is going to be opened in September. So since me and Ricardo met, we have developed a lot of different projects and different events through Fork. We do the World Food Design Day on October 16, where we give voice to many food design projects, any food design project in the world. On the other side, we do an international conference called eFood. You can see everything in our Instagram or in the website. And on the other side, we do boot camps. So you are all very welcome to come to any boot camp call that we do in LinkedIn or in Instagram. And that means that many times a company or an institution wants to invite food designers or designers interested in food to some place in the world to do a project. And then from that, we create a group of students or teachers or professionals or food designers, depending on the program. And then from that, we research and we work on a project. And that's what we do on the boot camps. So this is what we do together. We also do a challenge in the schools for that. And then now, today, we came here to explain you that we're opening this Bachelor in Food Design in Elisava in Barcelona. You can see now this video that explains a little bit what it is. You know, the food systems are, I mean, when you talk about food systems and design towards a food system, it means that we would talk from agriculture to consumption, to distribution, to design, and to see what we do with the food waste. And then if this food waste becomes material or becomes the basics of something, or it comes back to the earth to do, to again, be like nutrition for the soil. So all the food systems now have many, many different points to be improved, because we know that we eat a lot of plastic, for example, because we know that we need to change the service of the supermarkets, because the plastic is being eaten by all of us. On the other side, we know that every time we are more people, and we are more people becoming older, so it means that many of the older people get some illness, because if you get very old, you can have like illness or severe illness. However, the sanitary systems in many countries in the world do not support to all the people that need their services. So all the governments are taking a look towards the past and to see how this situation arrived. And they realize that if we change our food systems and the way we eat, becoming a more nutritious and a more healthier way, even becoming tastier and even becoming keeping the beauty of it and the good taste of everything. So we really need to go for that, because if we improve the way we eat, we will improve the way we will be in the next future. So this is the reason why we decided to create a bachelor in design for food systems. And I've been working in Elisava for a long time. And then we decided that in the last years, in the last 10 years, we started to work into design and food, and to see how food design could really improve these food systems. And this is what we did. At the end, we created this bachelor that was approved by the Ministry of Education. And then it's starting in this next September. It's a bachelor that goes through 4 years, and it will educate food designers to work in the different fields that you will see now. So this is a little bit like the context in where the talk of today will be. And just for you to know, Elisava was the first school in design created in Spain. It was created in 1961, and today it has 2 buildings, and it has 14,000 meters of installations in these 2 buildings. They are in La Rambla in Barcelona, in the center of the city. I guess that those of you that came to Barcelona have gone through Las Ramblas. And then from that, now we have a new building. It's like 2 blocks away from the actual one. And this new building will be open in 2026, in which we will have all the masters and all the labs. So Elisava was created to connect the industry and the companies with the students and with the design by itself. So every bachelor that we have in Elisava, which we have now 3, one is in design and innovation, the other one is in engineering in industrial design, and the other one is in design for food systems. All of them use all the facilities of the city, like you're watching now. We call Elisava a distributed school because we use a lot of different labs through the whole city. And then if we need to take pictures, for example, we can go to professional photography places, or if we do a show, we can go to many of the different places in the city where we can show what we do, not only to Elisava community, but also to the whole city and everyone that comes to visit. So that's very interesting as a concept. So as I was saying, we collaborate with companies, institutions, and NGOs, and this is why Elisava collaborates with the Fork organization, and this is why we are here today explaining this new bachelor. So now you will see this little video in which you see a little bit what food design is. For those of you that are far away from this term, food design was considered for a long time like food styling, and it's not food styling. We have food stylists, we have chefs that create amazing dishes. We have food stylists that create amazing dishes to be taken pictures of. And then we have food designers that what we do is we try to understand how the food systems are. And again, talking about food systems, I mean from agriculture to distribution to processing food to consuming food and to analyze the food waste. So these 5 areas. So from that, the food designers see which is the place of and which is the thing, the important need that we need to solve. Because if there's something that is not working, we need to solve. And then from that, we create a project and we face that point to give some solutions. So as you saw in the previous video, the idea of collaborating is basic. So we need to create a transdisciplinary teams, which is absolutely necessary because designers cannot do things together alone. Sorry. The teams need to be of people from different backgrounds. So we need to work in a team with an agriculture, with a chef, with an industrial, a food engineer, a food technologist, a food security. So we need to work together in teams, and that's the role of a food designer. So what did we do? Meanwhile, we were researching about the possibility of doing this bachelor, this degree. We saw that we needed to go together hand by hand with a gastronomy institution. So in this bachelor, um, the point is that Elisava is going together with CETT. CETT is the Barcelona School of Tourism, Hospitality, and Gastronomy. So it's the school that was created also 60 years ago, and in where everyone in Barcelona and in many people in Spain gets educated in degrees related to tourism, hospitality, or gastronomy. And it's 10 years that they do a bachelor in gastronomy. So at the end, both institutions are proposing one degree. So students will go some days to one place and some days to the other because we both think that to be a food designer is a profession of the future. And I would dare to say that it's a profession of the present because these are, you can read here, these are some sentences that some interesting people has said about what we're doing. And for example, take a look to the director of packaging and production of Barilla Group, which is the pasta group, that says it's very important the connection between the university and the industry to see what food is, how it is produced, know the real boundaries and commitments, and create bridges between the two systems. Or Luigi Di Nardo, who says students will be able to understand the impact of their design decisions on the entire food system. Because we need to think and we need to understand that whatever we will be will depend on what we do now. So if you're going to be a food designer, either if you are a designer or either if you are a student, whatever we will eat and the way that we will have our food systems or that we will relate with our food depends just on us. So the way we act will drive us towards where we want. So for you to see, when you study food design or when you study design for the food systems, as me and Ricardo do now, you work for design industry to food industry. You can work in restaurants or with restaurants or for restaurants. You can work with caterings or for caterings. You can also work in the hospitality industry, in the gastronomy and health, or in the creative industries field. So, for example, you have here some of the professional outcomes that you could have if you would study this bachelor. So you could become a market and analysis and trends analyzer, or you could become a design of new food products. You could also be a manager as a designer of the gastronomic experience projects, Or you could design services and events for commercial or collective caterings. You could also design sustainable and processes products for the food sector. It means that you could design food like cookies or sausages or whatever it is, or you could design a product related to that. So the packaging or how that it's distributed, in which box it will arrive, and everything needs to be designed from the regenerative perspective. That means no waste is in there. So at the end, this design for food systems degree, it's created by Elisava and CETT, and it talks about design, gastronomy, business, and culture. So it doesn't talk from an academic perspective only, in which you could like study and research theory. It talks about a lot of different subjects that allow you, yes, to have on one side a transdisciplinary education. That means you will learn from gastronomy, you will learn from design, you will learn from sustainability, you will learn from business, and you will learn from management. You will also have a profile with knowledge in all these fields in design, gastronomy, food, and sustainability. You will also learn about production, processing, distribution, consumption, and food waste management regarding the food systems. And you will find innovative solutions combining creativity, technology, and social awareness connected with the market. So at the end of it, you will go through many different programs inside the Bachelor. So you will have different activities and workshops. You will participate in real challenges and events. For example, our students went to different boot camps organized by the Fork organization. You see here on the right, the boot camp in Vivid Farms in Portugal. This is a regenerative farms where 16 universities participated in this boot camp. Or on the left side, you see the eFood conference that we hosted in Elisava and co-organized, in which we had different chefs. This is Andone Luis Aduriz. He is one of the best chefs, considered one of the best chefs in the world. And we invited him because he is very creative, and creativity is really related to their job. Then on the other side, students in this bachelor will visit companies and restaurants, and we'll get together and we'll work in the facilities of CETT. CETT has 30,000 square meters with technical and technological classes, where you can see here you have different kitchens and you have all the tools to understand how to use and how to cook. Because, of course, a food designer is not a chef, but it needs to work with chefs and to understand how they work. So if we talk about the basic data, the duration of the program is 4 years. It's 240 ACTS, which is the academic credits in Europe. We have disciplines in English, the workshops, and we also have some subjects every year. And as I was saying before, the most important thing is that more than the 80% of the disciplines are project-based. So it's hands-on based projects. So you can see here the study plan that I'm not going to explain it so detailed, because you can check it in Elisava's website. But through every year, you go with a system that allows students to put together the knowledge. So we have 2 semesters every year, and in every semester we have 3 weeks of workshops. So the first workshop is after 2 weeks of classes, and in that workshop you put together the knowledge that you got through these 2 first weeks, but based on the fundamentals of the food systems and the fundamentals of design. Then after 5 weeks, in which you have class every day, you have another week of workshop where you put together the fundamentals of design of the food systems and also about how to cook. And then at the end of the semester, you have 1 week of workshop where you put together all the knowledge that you have learned during the semester. This is a new academic and a new pedagogical system that we are trialing, but we tried it in short courses and it really gave a very good result because it gives you the possibility to understand how and what to put together. So in here, you can see some pictures of projects that we have done in other degrees related to these subjects that we are doing. And you see we have some subjects related to tools, some subjects related to projects, and some subjects related to the context. And one of the questions that I'm asked often is, if I would study a bachelor in design or design and innovation or design and technology, which would be the difference? The difference is that in this bachelor, you focus on food and that it's obvious. But on the other side, beside the traditional disciplines of design, like product design, graphic design, space design, or interaction design, you work and learn food systems design, food service design, social innovation design, gastrophysics, a lot of different, a lot of different strategies or methodologies. And on the other side, you also do internships twice instead of one. The first time is in the second year, in the sixth semester, in the fourth semester, and then the second time is in the semester 8, in which you can do your yes or yes final degree project working on a real company. So your project is going to be real. And of course, if it works, it will be impactful, meaningful, and concrete. So it will become real. So we already have some projects that became real in that sense. And we will show them a little bit later. So when we finish the bachelor's in Elisava, we have a degree show in which we are more than 250 projects together from all the degrees. And during that week, we have different companies that come to do networking with our students. We do project presentations, also an award. We do conferences, and we bring people to see every work that it's there. So the contact with the industry is very important. So we will go through some projects, like for example here, this is a collaboration with Hermanos Torres. They are a very important restaurant with 3 Michelin stars. But this is a project done by multisensoriality, and the dish is created, the plate is created with the sensation of the tongue. You can see that. So next project is called Voila, and it's from Laura Gispert, and she designed a set of eating cutlery that substitutes the eating and throw by eating and eat. So you can eat with eatable cutlery, and you can throw it to the organic trash, or you can eat it at the end of your food moment, whatever it is. So it's lunch, or if it's a coffee, whatever. On the other side, there's Agro, that she designed this biomaterials with food waste. So it is very interesting to understand that these projects are already startups, are companies that are selling and working, and they live from that. And you can see some communications in the radio or in the TV if you look in the website. So we also give promotion to all the projects that students do. And the same, for example, to this one that it's a film by Liam Kelly called like The Funeral of the Milk, in which he put together some farmers, some chefs, and some politicians and users on the top of a mountain. And the chefs were cooking with the milk of the cows that were going to die the day after. So they talk about the problem of that area, in which in 6 months, 48 farmers had to close because the system is not allowing people to grow the cows to have the fresh milk. So that's very important to understand, and that's easy to understand that we need to redesign these systems. And there are some other projects like this one that talks about the food loose of the caterings, that many times with this food loose we can do other things. And then this project proposes a system, an open source system where everyone shares the recipes of what to do with the food loose. So like, for example, with the artichokes, or when you do a brownie that you want it to be like square and you have like a lot of little pieces on the sides. So what to do with all that stuff. And she implemented that on a catering. The same here with the smell project, in which the multisensoriality is worked in a way that you can improve your different your different senses for that. And I guess we have another one, which is about packaging. And it's the way that we apply the graphic design and the product design to products related to food. This one is about a service. You know that in the canteens in Europe, kids eat and have their lunch, and food is prepared in the school, or many times it's the catering going to the school. So the quantity of the food that is wasted is a lot. So besides that, there are some programs now that are trying to improve that. Bon Profit is a project that collaborates with the schools to improve and to reduce the food waste. So this is what we wanted to explain. It is important to us that we are aware of what the food systems need, and also what is the role of designers in that food system. Because coming from any field of design, we can yes or yes participate in the food systems. But if we come from the field of food design, we can participate more. So we hope to have been clear and interesting for you. And I will leave the stage to Ricardo Bonacho.
Well, hello everyone. I don't have anything to say now because you make a wonderful presentation about this wonderful new degree that is creating this new profile for the industry and the food systems that I believe, and I strongly believe, because we work on this for so long, that it will make a difference in our food systems, not only in the way that we eat, but the way that we will start to think about what we eat, when we eat it, and well, all the questions that are related to food. So I don't have anything to say to add to the presentation. I don't know if there is some question from the audience or not, or
We don't have any yet, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to use that Q&A feature, and we'll try to get them answered. Just wait here a couple minutes to see if anyone's got anything.
Great.
Thank you, guys. That was amazing.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you and all your organization.
Yeah, it's been so fun to work with you guys. Hoping we can collaborate and maybe do a workshop in the future.
Yeah, for
yes.
sure. Would be amazing.
Yeah. All right. Still have a few participants on there, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to get them in there. Otherwise, Mariana, you might have just done such a good job that no one has any questions.
Wonderful.
All right, well, we'll hang out here, everyone, for a few more minutes, and then we'll actually be doing a Spanish version of this afterwards. So yeah, we'll hang out here in case you have questions, but thank you everyone for joining. We really appreciate it. And just a couple very quick Indie Design Week plugs. We do have a couple of events going on. Unfortunately, the two events going on today are sold out. So check your attendee portal. If a spot opens up, you can snag that. Patrick Armstrong will be speaking tonight about his experience as an Asian American adoptee. And then at lunch, Counterpart will be hosting a workshop called Fostering Connection Through Innovation. So keep an eye on your attendee portal. Some spots may open up last minute, but we also have an event up in Carmel with SEP on informational architecture. So check that out if you didn't get any tickets to the draft event. Thanks, everyone. All right. Hang out here for one more minute, and then if you guys are okay with it, I'll probably hop out and hop back in just so that the recordings are split up and it's
Okay.
easy for me to split those two up for on-demand purposes.
Okay. So do you want me to leave?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll close this out and then I'll open it back up. Like I'll just open it right back up. That way the English and Spanish is already split up. Great. All right, I'm gonna close it out and I'll be right back in.